All right, everyone. We are live. We are a little late tonight because I have children who are on the warpath and they are still going, and I pray my wife does not end my life after this thing is over with. Anyway, it is 9:53 p.m. Eastern Time on the East Coast. This is Artisan Exchange episode 32. Whoop. How are y'all doing tonight?
Hey, we're doing pretty good.
Pretty good. I was trying to share our stream, but then it went off, man.
What happened to you?
What happened to you? What happened to you, Alden? Alden.
Oh.
Well, anything exciting happen in your world this week?
I don't know. What happened to you, Alden? Tell us all about it.
I don't know. I was supposed to say to you guys.
Oh, man. Okay.
I'll let
Well,
y'all
I had
go
spring
first.
break.
I'll go last.
Okay.
I'll go
I had
last.
spring break. I had spring break. It was annoying because I just can't function on spring break. I found little bits and jobs and things to do, and my daughter had a sleepover with a friend, and she's with her grandparents tonight, so we got a house full of no chitlins. But as you can see behind us, we still got these stupid cats. So, yeah, I'm just gonna I don't know. Apparently, I'm watching Super Duper Hockey Show later tonight, so we can make this into a marathon session and party all night.
I cannot. If my kids are still awake when this thing is over with, we're going to have to get out of here as soon as possible.
Oh,
Yeah, he gonna
dadgummit.
get in trouble.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's
Come
my
on.
spring break.
Go take a walk on the wild side.
Ugh. My wife.
My
She heard me in the other room. She goes, So yeah, I'm watching 5 more Hockey Player Boy episodes. So tonight, anyway.
That sounds
Hockey
wonderful.
season was over.
Oh, it's just fantastic. All right, Alden. Apparently, your second
Alden?
says the Zook. So
Well,
Anything
not
happened
much,
to you this week?
nothing crazy. I mean, to me it is. It's a big news for me. Last year, it's funny enough because this is actually, I think this came up on the second or third episode of the podcast. So this has been like a very long running thing in the background. Right when we started this podcast, my doctor wanted me to go do what's called a fibro scan. And if you're not aware of what a fibro scan it is basically an ultrasound, that measures the stiffness of your liver. So it's used for people who have alcoholic liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and people who have hepatitis. And I have the non-alcoholic. It's used to be called NAFLD/NASH, and now it's just called MASH. But anyway, so they suspected I had it because I had an ultrasound or a CT back in 2019 or 2020 that showed that I had fat accumulation on my liver. And so they suspected I had it, so they wanted me to take the test. So I took it like the week before my birthday in August last year, and the results were less than stellar. So the way the test is scored, it's there's a steatosis grade and a fibrosis grade. And steatosis means how much fat is accumulated on the liver. I can't tell you what the numbers are on those because mine ain't good. Mine is a lot of chunky. I got chunky liver. But it's not important, but it's not the most dangerous part. The fibrosis score is the scary one. And the way I do know the fibrosis score, it's measured in what are called kilopascals. And basically, someone who has a healthy liver or has very minimal scarring, which would be what's called an F0 to an F1 grade, the range changes slightly depending on what you have liver disease for. If you're like me and you have non-alcoholic fatty liver, that score is anywhere from 2 to 7.5 is a healthy range. It means you either have no scarring or such minimal scarring that it's not a danger. If you have 7.5 to 10, you're what's called, I think it's fibrosis. No, 7. It's 10 to 12 is fibrosis stage 2. It's 2 to 7 is healthy. So it's weird. It's some range. I don't remember the exact numbers, but if you have 12 to 14 or something like that, it's stage 3. And then if you have a 14, you have what's called, you might have heard this term, it's called cirrhosis. And that's when the liver is so damaged that it starts to shut down and you lose function. It can lead to liver cancer, which I'd never even heard of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease being a problem. When I first got diagnosed with it, my doctor said that it was something that most Americans have, or at least a third of them have it because of bad diets, and not to worry about it too much other than lose weight. I didn't know about the fibrosis part. I thought it was just fat on your liver. So then when my specialist told me about that, that's when I got concerned, and they did the test, and I had a 12.2. So I had what's considered an F3 advanced liver damage, where over 66% of your liver is covered in scar tissue or inflammation. So before they even called me with the results, my response was, okay, we're going to crack down. I'm going to go on the Mediterranean diet. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do anything I can to turn this around. So I started that in August. I lost about 20 or 30 pounds. October comes around, and on Halloween, they start me on Wegovy, but my insurance wouldn't cover it, so I only got 2 months of samples. I lost a little bit of weight on it, but then I had to stop it on New Year's, and the kickback made me gain some weight back. So in total, I think I weighed like 350 in August, got down to like 311 by October or Christmas, somewhere around that time, and then I'm back up to 325 now. All that to say, I got another fibro scan because there's a company called Madrigal, and they have a medicine called Resdifra. And even though I was denied for the Wegovy, there's a medicine that was Resdifra. What it does is it targets fat accumulation on your liver. So it doesn't make you lose weight, but it does affect the liver fat. And you get rid of the liver fat, you can cure the scarring. Because science has shown that if you can even lose 5 to 10% of your body weight, you can reverse scar damage on your liver. And it may never go back to normal, but it can at least reverse some of the damage. So, it might go from F3 to an F2. Anyway, Madrigal will not cover it unless you have a fibro scan that has been done within at least 3 months. So, because my first one was done in August, they can't approve me for the medicine, so I had to go back in for a new scan. And I did that on Tuesday morning. I got the results on Wednesday, but before I left, I snapped a screenshot of it with my camera. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do that or not, but I had to know. And I have looked at these results enough to know what it looks like. In August, my fibro score was a 12.2. On Tuesday, it is now a 4.6. I am now considered in the F0 to F1 range of fibrosis. What that means, I don't know. My doctor said you have significantly improved the liver. Now, the steatosis grade is still in a S3, barely. It was at one point 334. It's now 293. Anything above 290 is a 3. So if I can just drop it like a few more points, I'll be in F or S2. So closer. Just need to lose some more weight. Got a long way to go on the weight loss, but I'm comfortably confident that I can do that. But that leads me to think either the thing is the scan itself is it's like a percussive device that basically just does this to your liver, and there's possibility of overestimation and obesity. And technically, I was what's considered a grade 3 or class 3 obese. If you have a BMI over 40, they used to call it morbid obesity. And that's what I was when they did the first test. The second time, I was only class 2, so it might be more accurate now. I also feel like they were more thorough with the test. The first time, they spent like 5 minutes. The second time was like 15 minutes. So I don't know about that either. But my thought is, I'm sure I did reverse some of the inflammation, but from what I understand, when you have the test, it is not just a measure of the scarring on the liver, it's the inflammation or how well it responds to the vibration. So my thing is, I might have just been so overweight that it was giving kind of a false positive, and just that little push that I did gave it a more accurate read, which means my liver may have not ever been that bad to begin with. I don't know. Maybe it was, and maybe I did turn it around. I need to treat it that way because I need to lose weight and never let it get there again. But my doctor is comfortable enough that he's going to do the next scan in like a year and a half or 2 years from now. So
sweet.
So long story short, I'm not going to die. right now,
Yet.
unless something happens crazy. But my liver's not going to take me out. So that was a major win for me.
That's
It's
good,
like it was a
because
silent win because no one else saw it. It was like, oh, that's cool. For me, I was like hyperventilating in my car when I saw that, because I looked at the scores and I'm like, I think those are good. Take a picture of the scores. I really think those are good. And I go back to my car and I read them. I'm like, these are freaking good. I was so excited.
yeah.
But
'Cause
anyway,
I remember you came to us, and I had no clue the meaning behind all of it. I just, the way that you were speaking, I was like, "Oh, no."
yeah.
I was worried.
Yeah, I was freaked out at first. I was so scared because I'm like, I know I'd lost weight. So I'm like, unless my liver was so damaged before they even did that, that it was just going to progress worse. I was like, there's no way it's worse now because I weigh 25 pounds less than I did at the first one. So I'm like, that's 5% of my body weight. Surely to God, I've lost some of my weight. I've got some of that down, but I never in my life expected a 4.2. I mean, that was just blew me away. And it's not even just they measured it 12 times. That was the mean score. So one of them was up to 5.3. One of them was down to like 3.8. But even at the highest one, it was still in a healthy range. Whereas the before I had them all the way down to like 10, all the way up to 15. So like my old score was almost cirrhotic, but this one was like, you're very good. So it was such a win for me. I'm so happy. But so anyway,
Yeah. I didn't know if you were done.
I'm
But,
good.
so this week was, I mean, outside of streaming, it was kind of a normal week. We didn't really get to do much because it was super cold this week. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we had
It snowed on
snow.
Monday.
It did. It did
No.
actually snow on Monday.
It was like 80 the week, like the day before, and then it just snowed out of nowhere.
Mhm.
So that kind of kept us in the house per se. Of course, my wife went to work. My
My
wife.
wife.
But
There it is.
streaming wise, we hit some pretty strong achievements. Did hit my 2-year streaming anniversary on Monday, and that went really well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We had a lot of good people in there, a lot of good conversations, and even though we had 3 raids and one of them scared me half to hell. So we were playing a horror game, and like the last raid, I don't know if we were listening or if I was reading something, but I had no clue what was going on, and it scared the living piss out of me. But and then
I ended up
the
getting to
next-
stay for a lot of that because I was speedrunning Resident Evil in the background while
Yeah.
listening to you.
I miss
and
so much
it
because I
was
fell
a
asleep in my
great
son's
time.
bed.
And it's called Killer Frequency, and if you're a really big fan of horror, it was a good game.
I have to play it. I want to play it.
Yeah, I need to check it out.
It was a good game. It was, I mean, I don't think that I did everything that I could correctly.
No, that thing screams multiple endings, I think. 'cause,
Yeah.
the ending you
I
got.
think so, too.
I don't know, man.
But so maybe that's something to think about. But still had a blast. It was really fun. I like to crap talk horror games. I just find that entertaining.
And boy,
Just
you
to be
did.
honest. I did. But the next night was the last night of a series that I called Tuesday Night Chaos. So, no more wrestling streams on my channel, which that's kind of a sad thing. Until they
That's
come
a
back.
darn shame.
I know it.
It's not. It's like been such a staple for your
I
channel.
know.
It's.
Because I've been doing that for most of my stream.
I know since as long as I can remember, you were doing it.
Yeah. Now they wasn't always on Tuesdays. I did rebrand that, later on, but I always had some sort of wrestling on my stream. So, doing that was a little strange. So that's really all I had going on this week. Yeah.
Side note, I want to make mention. I didn't put it in the upload to YouTube or Spotify, but I just wanted to apologize for last week's episode. I was so tired that I was asleep through part of it. If you watched last week's and it was the only one you ever watched, first of all, why would you start with number 31? I don't know. But most of the stream I was like, because I had been up for like 15 hours at that point and I had strep and I had just literally gotten out of the car like less than an hour before after driving for 3 hours. So I was extremely exhausted. I am a little tired tonight, but I promise that's just my normal state. I'm normally at a 5. Last week was like an 11, but it sucked. But I still enjoyed the episode, and it was like the first time I've ever really listened to an episode while
Do
editing it
you
because I'm like,
remember anything that we talked about?
no,
Nothing.
no.
'Cause me and Doc carried the show, which is fine, you know.
Yeah,
We're all 3 work together.
What's
But
What's even worse is I didn't want people to think that I was like bored of the show, but it wasn't even my dozing off. It was like the lackadaisical response I had because I remember listening back at some point, one of you guys walked out, and I think it was Doc, and you were talking to me, and my answer was like, "Yeah, that was cool,"
I didn't even notice that.
and I was just kind of like, "Yep, I'm gonna be doing that this weekend."
That's exactly right.
And I seemed like I just hated everything, but I was like, so much of the episode just jolting myself awake, and
It's crazy because we've all been.
Oh,
Anybody that
I'm currently there
does
right now,
anything,
honestly, if we're being honest.
you know, you've
Mhm.
been so tired and pushed to the point where you were so oblivious and just of everything that's going on. I've done it with truck driving, and
Yep.
that's the scariest place to freaking do it.
That's not a good place to do it, yeah.
But it's not been like when I'm driving. It's like when I'm off. You know, whenever I pulled into a truck stop, I had no clue how I got to the showers. I had no clue how I got inside. I had just,
That's
you turn
scary,
on
dude.
autopilot. I think.
I had
You just-
many days like that when I was in community college. Where I lived at growing up was like the first 20 minutes was very narrow back roads, and then it was like 30 minutes on a main highway until you get to the college. And there were a lot of mornings that I pulled into the parking lot and I was like, I don't remember getting here. And
You know, it's-
it was not good.
Yeah, it's a saying. The lights are home, or the lights are on, but nobody's home.
The lights are home, but nobody's on. I like that one better. There's a method to my madness.
There's a method to my madness.
There's a madness to my method.
Oh, that's
There was one morning that I was on my way to school and I was like, class started at 8 and it was like 7:15. I'm like, I got a minute. So I pulled over in this church parking lot and like slept for like 10 minutes and then just kept going.
Oh my God.
It was
oh my
awful.
gosh.
Viper pulled an all-nighter at my house one night
Yeah, I
for
did.
finals.
And I had to wake you up.
You did, yeah. I think I laid on the wrong side of the bed, and then when I woke up, he's just looming over me going, hey. I'm like, did you not go to bed? No.
No. Still failed that final.
Oh my God.
Study hard, kids. That's the message.
Yeah,
we're
and
trying to
especially give it a judo chop headbutt too.
Oh man, that reminds me. When I was at UT doing my master's for music, we had two specific they gave us basically an entrance exam. It's like, here is your music theory entrance exam, and here is your musicology entrance exam. And of course, I killed the theory because theory major. If I had to do remedials on that would have been pretty bad. Musicology, not so much, because we didn't really have musicology at our undergrad.
No, we didn't.
So, I, of course, did not pass that one. So we had to take a remedial music class. Most of my friends did. And most of us did not pass that one because the format of the test, I think we all had that class in college. It's like, all right, here's the class rubric. We're going to do about 500 years of history in the course of one semester. And the only grades are going to be 3 exams. And on the exam, I'm going to give you 50 terms. You're going to memorize all of them. And I'm going to ask you to define 3 of them. And then I'm going to give you 7 essay prompts. And you have to write about 1 of them at random. Anyway, that's what the format of that class was. So because that format is so great, you get your first exam, and your grade sets your entire standard for that. So like you fail that first test, it's like, well, guess what? Your next test isn't until after the drop period. So better gamble on it. It's literally a gamble. I had a test like that in undergrad where I made a 60 something on the first test, and the second one wasn't until after the drop period. So it's like either you quit the class now or you get locked into one that you're going to fail. And that was like my first semester of college. I had to do that. But anyway, grad school was the same format. So sure enough, yeah, I failed the first test because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know it was going to be just like the undergrad test. So then when the second test was coming up, two of my friends and I, we began studying as soon as class ended that day. We drove over to the library on campus, and we studied from like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. on campus and never left. We spent the entire night studying for one test. And like we were walking around, we're getting snacks at like the vending machines, sleeping on the corner of the library floor. And then we woke up in time. The test was at 8 a.m. One of us got a parking ticket, was not me. We all ran to our cars before they started coming around, and one of us was too slow. But then I drove back over, took the test, aced it, but then I had classes all day. So by noon, we had a guest speaker come for my composition class. And the whole time he was talking, I was like,
Yeah.
and I was just falling asleep. And then it was finally over. I was like, class is done for the day. I'm going to go home. So I just drove back to my parents' house and just slept until like 6 p.m. And then I had to drive back to campus for a recital that night. And I'm like, okay, I'll go back. I don't want to, but I'm good now. But I from then on, I kind of understood the format of the tests, and I did fine. I passed it, but I was like, oh God, here we go again. I hate that 3 test format because it puts so much weight on every grade. But well, it was one of my only 2 grades in grad school that I didn't make an A in. I made a B in that class because that first test set such a bad standard. But it was fun.
I don't think I ever want to do grad school. I just listening to stories like that give me heartburn, and ain't gonna happen. I wasn't a bad student.
I struggled through undergrad, so
all in all, really, the only thing that I really struggled in grad school was just finishing my thesis, just because my work ethic is absolute garbage. I chose to write a symphony, and it was March, and I still hadn't finished it, and my thesis defense was in April. I specifically remember sitting in my wife and I, she was, we weren't even dating at the time, but we were hanging out in Gatlinburg with a friend, and we rented a cabin, and I pulled a Cameron from Ferris Bueller, and I'm sitting in the hot tub like, because I still hadn't finished I didn't have like a third movement for my symphony, and I just went, and I just collapsed face first into the hot tub.
You headbutted the hot tub.
But
that's the secret. This is the magical headbutt move.
This is the magical headbutt.
The funny story about that, and not to keep going on tangents, but this is the best part of the whole thesis thing was, so I had technically started the thesis in the summer of 2015, and I started it with what became the first movement. It was going to be a different movement, and then it ended up being the first movement again, but only half of it. I started this idea, and I'm like, I like this. So grad school starts the second semester or second year, and he's like, what'd you work on all summer? I'm like, well, I discovered Netflix and did a lot of that. But my symphony, I've got like 3 minutes of it. And he goes, okay, well, that's not good. So we worked on it all semester, and I wrote the second one and the third one, and then I'm like, the first one's not working, so we had to like rework it. But I finally started to get it done, and I got it done like a week or 2 before the due date, and it was okay. So I go to my first thesis defense, and they have notes. I take the notes. I work on it. I fix some of the technical stuff and the writing part of the paper. But the part that got me the most was not like, because it's composition. How do you pick apart someone's creative process? It's kind of hard to be like, so why did you use a B flat minor 9 chord here? I'm like, because it spoke to me. But the part that was great was my teacher. I love her. She was like the head of the department, and she's like, have you ever seen the movie Brian's Song? And I'm like, no, why? And she goes, okay, just wanted to make sure. Go listen to the main theme from it. So I go home that night and listen to it. I'm like, Oh my God. I copied the main theme. It ended up being like the same rhythm, the same key and everything. It's almost verbatim. And I had never even heard it, but I was like, oh my
I
God.
bet you that was on Netflix.
But she's like, if you hadn't seen it, it's not plagiarism. I'm like, okay.
If you haven't seen it, it's not plagiarism.
But it is kind of spooky how similar it is, because it's like da na 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 is like the main theme, and that's what mine was. I was like, oh Jesus, which is pretty pretty simplistic theme. It's easy to come up with that, but I just can't believe it. I was like, oh God, am I gonna fail now? But
Actually, in the green room, you were sharing about lemon pound cake, and then we were listening to
lemon
the
pound
video.
cake.
We're listening to the video, and I kept going, under the boardwalk. So, plagiarism is...
I just can't stress enough that how I wish you guys had seen more of that trial, because that was the funniest thing that has come out of this year so far.
I had heard like little bits and pieces of Afro Man.
I mean, if
doing
you guys
stuff.
remember, it was Vanilla Ice when he was in that lawsuit that against
God.
Queen, and he's like, it's not the same. He goes, dum 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 digga dum dum. Dum 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 digga. It's like it's the same thing, man.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice trying to
justify his plagiarism.
Oh my God.
That was certainly sad. I was trying to think how I mean, Afro Man's not really been relevant in 25 years either.
No.
No,
The
because
last
I know
time
for
that-
a fact 25 years because it was his song Because I Got High came out around 9/11 and it got played all the dang
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah.
Funny thing, the first time I'd actually ever heard that song was a parody that this British comedian did. And I don't know if you've ever heard it, but I'll have to send that to you. It's basically these guys doing the song, but it's all from like the perspective of like Tony Blair and Margaret Thatcher and stuff like that.
Oh, God.
But it's really good.
The first time that I heard that song was on our school's morning news.
What?
Somebody accidentally played it because they just didn't know, apparently. And it was one of the exit songs in the news program, and they got suspended.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of accidental music,
I
So
want
I've
to throw
seen-
one in too after you do yours. Just remind me, okay?
you can go ahead if you want to.
It was just a little quick one and actually happened pretty recently. Our gym teacher at school, he plays pop music and stuff while the kids do stuff. And I can hear it from my room. It's pretty loud, but I digress. We had a rain day last year, I believe, and they were rotating through songs and he explains the music goes on the whole time. It's for the kids, yada, yada, yada. It's fine. Going through the rotation of music, a lot of it's very kids bop heavy. This is before K-pop Demon Hunters. The song Cake by the Ocean comes up. I know it because of my wife's addiction to the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
Catchy little song. There is a good for radio version, and then there's an F-bomb version. Gym teacher just had either Spotify or Apple or YouTube on the shuffle.
On Spotify.
And was listening to it. And then they get to the chorus. Let's lose our minds and go. And I went, oh, God, no. This whole gym full of kids. Luckily, there was a lot of sound and stuff. I wasn't really, actually, I take that back. I wasn't super sure if they had said it because the lyric is either go crazy, crazy or go effing crazy. And so I'm listening and bopping. And then the start of verse 2 goes GD. And then I heard that echo across the gym and I went, oh, God, no. That's when I took off.
No.
Because me and a second grade teacher intersected at the same time at the gym teacher and went, hey, this is the vulgar version. Go turn it off. And he goes, oh. And he turns over. And no
That's
one
so
complained.
funny, though.
No one said anything. But it was just funny that the fact that we both kind of intersected and we're like, ah. So
That reminds me of when my grandma was still alive. So that would have been about 9 years ago. Probably 10 years ago when this happened. So my younger cousin would have probably been 14. for some reason or other, I guess she had given up on him, not caring about things about like, vulgarity or, blood or violence. It was just, there were still a few things that she had, put her foot down on him watching. So he could play GTA and she would be like, I don't like that, but what can I do? But there were certain things that were just like too much for her. And, so he was on Netflix one day and she was sitting in the living room. I'm sitting in the living room and I had not seen the movie in years. I forgot a lot of it. And he's watching The Shining. And we've seen a lot of the scenes now and it's no problem. And she's even invested. She's watching it. And I'm like, this is weird that my grandmother's watching this. And then Danny walks into the room with the bathtub and I go, I turned it off. I'm like, hey, buddy, we'll watch this movie later. We need to take a break. Let's go outside and play.
I forgot about that.
Because I knew she would lose her mind if she saw a pair of breasts on TV. And I was like, oh, God.
What's so bad in The Shining?
the naked woman in the shower.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah.
Scandalous.
The giant elevator of blood. Not a problem.
Yeah, that's fine. Hacking a door with a axe, no big deal.
He's just trying to get in.
Try the doorknob next time, Jack. Jesus.
Hey, door was locked.
Try the little credit card trick. I had to use that with my first job. I kept banging on the back door on my first job, and I got a little like Food City card, and I'd pop the lock, and I'd go in, and they'd be like, "How'd you get in?" I'm like, "No one opened the door."
That's a good little segue into what we're planning on talking about.
Hang on. I do have one more thing that I got segued off of a minute ago.
Mind. We're not going to segue.
I've got too many things tonight.
Reverse.
Apparently, it was a more intuitive week than I thought. So this one's actually kind of funny. Do you either of you use Sirius XM?
No.
Okay, so I have used it for like 9 years now since I got my car. I guess I just liked it and I kept it, even though I pay a ridiculous amount of money. I pay like $20 a month for it, just for one car. But anyway, I have 5 preset stations. I have I think it's like 38 and 41 are like my rock stations. And then I have 2 country stations just because my wife likes them. And I am kind of nostalgic for like 90s country. Like I'll listen to Alan Jackson because I grew up on that, even though I'm not a country person. And then my 5th station is like the symphony station where like classical music and stuff. But one of those stations is
on there.
One of those stations is called Y2 Country, and it's like specifically 2000s country music. So like some of it's kind of but some of it's like once it starts to get to that stadium stuff, I'm like, you lost me here. But I say all that to say there's been a weird hiccup on that station lately, and I don't know if it's like all curated by AI, if there's actually a DJ anymore, but it's been playing some things that don't belong on that station. And the first one I noticed was last year. It all started innocuous enough when it would randomly play like Bob Dylan. And I would think, well, Bob Dylan's not 2000s country, but he does have some country adjacent music. So you could kind of argue he was on there. Well, then last week, the Beatles were on there.
What?
The Beatles.
And I was like, okay, this is definitely weird. But today took the cake when I get in my car, 7 a.m., and it's the song Big Papa by the Notorious B.I.G.
Love it when they call me Big Papa.
And I'm like, you got freaking Biggie on. For like one, he was not alive anymore.
Maybe they just turned it into a 2000.
The 2000s Nashville remix of Biggie. Biggie does Davidson County.
Oh, God.
So I was like, yeah, at this point, I'm checking out on the station. I think that we do live in a simulation and the seams are starting to crack and show.
You just need to turn that station into Margaritaville Station.
I mean, should. Especially if Biggie Smalls is hopping on your country block. No knock against Biggie, no knock against the country, but, that's something don't compute right there.
Man slapping me.
Big old man slapping me.
Anyway, Viper,
that
your
is
segue.
A deep reference. Anyways, the segue that we was going to do is into our topic tonight, and that's movie soundtracks.
What is that clicking sound?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's me.
Oh,
that's me. Anyway, so it's movie soundtracks that we have enjoyed, and some that are surprising. So
I kind of brought this one up because one of the we went and saw we done seen Project Hail
Saint it.
Mary, and I went on a tangent about that one before. I can't remember if the boys said they've read it or not, and honestly, I haven't read it, but I listened to the audiobook and to the sidebar. That's probably the best damn audiobook I've ever heard in my life. So you need to go out of your way and listen to it because it's just friggin' amazing. But saw the movie today, and then I was curious how the soundtrack was going to go because soundtracks, it can be either all orchestral, it can be like a conglomeration of, I don't know, Biggie Smalls in a country movie.
That's right.
A little variety, a little bit of everything. And so that's kind of what sparked my interest, especially this week. But that's kind of what we're gearing at this week. As I was going through it, I was hitting a lot of Disney stuff because Disney has kind of worked himself into a hole of, I wouldn't necessarily, would you call Disney movies musicals?
definitely the 90s Disney. I don't think that I would call anything other than
What's your definition of a musical?
Well,
I think
see,
you kinda
okay,
know
so
it once you see it, though.
what turns, okay, so The Greatest Showman kept popping up. We're just kind of snowballing stuff. Greatest Showman, and as far as I know, it wasn't a Broadway production or any sort of stage production, but soundtrack wise, is it going to be all original music, that we can suggest here? Or is it going to be something that's Iron Man, where it's 99% AC/DC songs? Or with Project Hail Mary today, I knew for certain there was a certain part in the book where they referenced the Beatles. And with the theme of the movie, I had one song in particular that kind of ran through my head when I was listening to the audiobook. And they used the Beatles song during that part, but it was a different Beatles song, which I knew. And I was tapping my foot along, and my wife was over there distancing her feet from me as far as possible because I was tapping and touching her. But in retrospect, it really worked with the scene. So, stuff like that. Obviously, with the music, it can enhance the scene of whatever you're watching. And I don't know, we can kind of go off in all sorts of directions on this, whether it's straight up musicals, whether it's just music that kind of accentuates the movie or what's going on.
Okay.
So, and we could probably do this into a main event matchup next week too. We can come back next week loaded up. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if I had to say then, my definition of what would be a musical would be a film that has moments of exposition where the plot is propelled forward by a musical number that conveys what's happening. It's not just like a movie with music in the background. It's a movie where the characters change the dialogue into a musical format that still conveys and moves the plot forward.
Okay.
That tracks.
That's definitely true on like a traditional musical sense, like Phantom of the Opera, Dear Evan Hansen, anything of those. But I don't know, like, because some of the ones that, especially like he brought up Disney, and a lot of the 90s were music.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 90s music. So if you just take those, I don't know if that would like move the story forward.
How about
But
this?
you would still consider it being a musical, though.
How about this? Is the music diegetic or not? Are the characters aware of the music happening, or is the music for the listeners? So, good example. Fiddler on the Roof is a musical because tradition is being sang by the characters in the movie about what's happening in the movie. Shrek is not a musical because when they have the Hallelujah sequence, no one hears Rufus Wainwright, or I guess it's John somebody in the actual movie
John
version.
Cagle. That was
John-
the principal in high school.
I can't remember what his name is, John something. They don't hear him singing that,
John
but it's a
Hale.
musical moment for the audience.
Okay. Yeah. I see you now. Even though
I see
Shrek
you.
did turn into a musical, but
We don't talk about
No.
that.
Now that's a different story. It's conveying the storyline through music for Shrek, which might
Right.
end up having the I'm a Believers, the Hallelujahs, or whatever.
But that's the thing.
I just
The I'm a
thought it was
Believer
funny that
in
you would
the
bring that
song.
one up, even though it did turn into a musical later on.
The I'm a Believer in the movie with Eddie Murphy. I almost said Eddie Mercury. Eddie Murphy is
Folks, I'm Eddie Mercury.
in universe. Now, it's anachronistic, but it's in the movie. But
technically, it was a performance, though. It didn't actually move any stories forward.
ooh. But the wedding reception was canon.
Swinging back to Eddie Murphy, I'm going to throw Mulan into the mix.
Pluto Nash.
Because you had mentioned the 90s Disney movies, Mulan being one of my
Mhm.
favorites. You do have storyline songs like Reflection, but then again, you also have Reflection coming out from Christina Aguilera. You had, strangely, 98 Degrees and Stevie Wonder singing a song, but
And
it
then you also
slaps.
have
Let's
I'll
not
Make a
lie.
Man Out of You.
You've got Make a Man Out of You. You've got A Girl Worth Fighting For. You've got...
Mulan was absolutely a musical.
I think so.
I
Not
agree.
the remake of it.
No.
I will
No,
say
and I
not the
won't
remake.
watch it because of that. Because
Exactly.
no,
I won't watch it. I'm set in my
I
ways.
won't watch that. I love me some Mulan.
musicals, dang it.
Doggone it, blow
Mulan.
Mulan.
That
needs
Mulan.
some music in her life.
Okay. Now I'm going from Mulan to Moulin Rouge.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
I stupidly,
I've
for the
never
longest
actually seen
time, did not know there was a difference between the word rouge and rogue, and it's the spelling.
I even think I wrote it wrong on the paper as I was writing, and I said, I think I wrote Moulin Rogue. But
Mulan Rogue.
Moulin Rouge kind of sticks out with me because my high school band director made arrangements for it our sophomore year. And I wasn't keen enough to catch all the references from the movie as a 14 or 15-year-old, but 37-year-old me, I mean, it's just it doesn't really have any sort of original music that drives the plot, but it's got medleys upon medleys of existing songs that still drive the plot.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one's kind of... And then they updated it within the last decade to have a musical with more updated, pop and rock references and medleys and stuff. So that one's kind of a both scenario.
Let me amend my definition.
Okay.
The song doesn't necessarily have to drive the plot as much as it allows some kind of furthering of an exposition or a lore. So if it's an introspective song where one person sings to themselves, if it gives the viewer more insight into that person's character, I think that still counts as well.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, that's still expanding the plot.
Right, but not like necessarily forwarding the plot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still the plot, but not pushing the plot. It's
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor off to
Expanding
the
on the
side
plot,
going,
yeah.
man, that Nicole Kidman.
I mean,
she's
that's
the-"
almost breaking the fourth wall,
It's kind of well. I mean, that's
Sometimes
that's
musicals
how
do break the fourth wall.
That's how Shakespeare used to be, with they're all soliloquies and all that jazz. Da-da-da-da.
Hang on a second.
Anyway, I wrote down one more on my list. I know this is not necessarily a main event matchup one, but and again, this was based off an old story from Homer and the Iliad.
Homer.
Homer's Odyssey.
Homer.
Oh brother, where art thou?
Yeah.
And that was huge for me in middle school. And I know Viper and I are the same age, and you're a little bit of a baby compared to us. But
I
Brother, Where
love
Art
that
Thou?
movie's soundtrack.
If you're unfamiliar with it, it is based off of Homer's Odyssey, but through the eyes of 1930s.
Yeah, around that time, 20s, 30s.
Yeah,
Southern based.
Like the TVA is being built, and the valley's being flooded, and stuff. I gotta go watch it again.
So,
See, whenever we first was talking about what we should talk about tonight, I took it as what soundtracks are, first of all, popular.
Popular?
What soundtracks that you enjoyed, or soundtracks that you surprisingly enjoyed. Like you didn't think that you would just enjoy just listening to the music itself, not along with the movie, but just by itself. And I think Oh Brother Where Art Thou is definitely one of those that I enjoy the music alone, even without the movie.
True.
Because I mean, you got a lot of I would say extremely country.
Yeah.
Bluegrass, field,
Bluegrass.
country. Yeah.
Exactly. And I like a lot of that.
Same.
You know, a lot of the the melodies and mixing in with music and counterpoints and all that stuff that kind of coexist together to make all that is just mind blowing to me. And that's kind of the music that I listen.
So, full transparency, I've never seen the whole movie. I've seen most of it. I was really young when I watched it, so at the time, I wasn't really interested in that kind of movie. And part of it, I don't know, part of me still doesn't want to watch it. I don't know what it is. There's something about it puts me off, but I deeply respect a lot about the movie. For one, it has an all-star cast, fantastic cast. The music is a good selection, and it's an intriguing plot. You know, you said it's adapted from, a classic Homer.
Dope.
But dope. but but what I respect about it is it bridges a gap, because if you're not from where we are in the foothills of Appalachia, there is a stigma around the arts, particularly anything artistic. But we have a very immense pride towards what we like. So it's like, I hate musicals. I hate theater. I hate all of this stuff. But if you do it with a Southern twang, they'll get in there and do it with you. And that's what's so interesting about this movie, because I think it had been any other genre of music, people would be like, well, this movie sucks. But then they start hearing, a dulcimer or a banjo, they're like, all right, hang on, they're cooking something here. And I like that they were able to draw in people who would never be interested in the musical aspect of this movie, but by putting the Appalachian, it wouldn't have worked without it. Like the way they've set this movie, it wouldn't have worked if they had done another kind of soundtrack. It's like, could you imagine? It's like, oh yes, here's "Oh Brother Without Thou Art Thou," except we're having Trent Reznor do the soundtrack for it. And just hear the industrial 9 Inch Nails. It's like,
Wow.
it worked so well with the music, and it actually got people that I personally know would have never gone to see, Rent, but they would be like, oh yeah, I love that soundtrack. I listen to it all the time, because they love bluegrass music.
Yep.
But so I think
Did you
that's cool.
consider "Oh Brother Where Art Thou" a musical?
No.
No, but it does give an artsy vibe to it. It's an artsy movie.
So
It
is there a
definitely
third option
enhances
now?
the movie.
Yeah. What was the next thing I was going to ask, though? Because so you need to watch "Oh Brother Where Art Thou." I need to watch apparently Shrek 2.
Okay, I was about to say.
And then Viper, I'm sure there's one that he's got to do. So I'll wait till he hops back in. So Viper,
What was that?
we've established that Alden needs to watch "Oh Brother Where Art Thou." I
Yep.
need to watch Shrek 2.
Yep.
And what was one on your hit list that we needed?
Well, I've seen so many damn movies.
True.
I'm a movie guy, so I don't know.
We'll come up with one, but
I'm not memeing when I say this though, but Shrek 2 really is a fantastic movie.
my wife tried to get me to watch it with her the other night. It was either last week or the week before.
Shut her down. Say no.
Well, I
It's
was
a
like,
gimmick now.
I was dying and ready for bed, kind of like
Dude,
right now. But
the climax of that movie is so good. And what is her name? Jennifer. Oh,
Hewitt?
God.
No.
The woman
Winter?
who plays
Godmother.
Fairy Godmother. She does a version of "I Need a Hero," and it's like unironically really freaking good. And it's one of those, diegetic set pieces where it's like in the end character, it's like a musical number in the movie, but it's so good, and there's so many good action scenes, but also the comedy is hilarious. This movie came out in like 2002 or 3 or 4, and even then it already was showing, like, there's just one scene, without spoiling anything, where there's these people at a Starbucks and it gets destroyed and they all run across the street into another Starbucks. And I just thought that was such a great scene, because that was 20 years ago, and
There's so many so many references like that.
Mhm.
That, if you're just casually watching it, you would have no idea
Yeah.
that it's trying to make fun of something or pick on something.
It's yeah.
It's a good movie, and I still think it's hilarious every time I watch it.
I honestly go back and forth between, if not for the nostalgia factor, I do think it's better than the first movie. It's so good.
I'll admit, when I first watched the Shrek movie, I think when it came out, I didn't care much for it, but it has grown on me a lot. But maybe that was just me being a kid and not giving two poops about stuff. But
That's so good.
So
one more. Oh, sorry. Go.
No, you're good. One soundtrack that caught my eye whenever I was in high school, and it surprised me of how much I enjoyed it, was Without a Paddle.
I know of the movie, but I don't think I ever watched it.
So Without a Paddle is Dax Shepard, Matthew
Green's
Lillard, and
Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Yeah. I didn't realize Matthew Lillard was in it. So real life Shaggy Norval.
It's not that the music, like the orchestral part of the movie, was great, but the
licensed music.
Yeah, the licensed music was so great because it brought you back to the feeling of, hey, I used to listen to this, growing up, and it still stays with me later on through the years. And it does give a little bit of newer music that I never heard of before that I really, really enjoyed. But it's another one that I can still listen to the music, even though I'm not watching the movie. And it surprised the hell out of me of how much I enjoyed that soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out.
That's the cool thing, is when you have a movie that's not necessarily a period piece, but it does aim to encapsulate a moment of time for a specific audience. You could tell it's for our audience when you capture that zeitgeist, and you know exactly how to feed into that emotion. It'll miss for some people, but for some people it'll give like such a dopamine hit. But
because
what's
one
funny,
of the songs that are on there is "Hold On Loosely" by 38 Special.
Mm.
Hold on loosely.
Yeah.
What's really weird is today The Office was talking about Chuck Norris died today, and two of the people in my office, they're in their early to mid 20s, and they're like, "Who's that?" And I was like, felt my lower back just snap in half when they said
my
that.
My daughter said that this morning too, and my wife and I looked at each other and went, "That's sad.
We're not doing a good job as parents."
but then we were talking about it, and then another one of my coworkers, she's like in her early to mid 50s, and she said that she was driving in her car, and she said also, "Doc, I just realized for some reason when you left earlier, it reset your microphone. I hope we've been able to hear you this whole time."
Oh God.
She said she was riding in her car with her daughter, and she said, there was I can't remember what spawned it, but she goes, "I heard this new song. I've never heard of it, and I can't believe it just now came out. It's a really good song." The song was "Africa" by Toto.
I mean, that's like a staple.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Some of the orchestra soundtrack. What are your guys' favorite? Okay, go ahead.
One thing. Are one of you guys listening to us live?
My wife is.
I have it muted.
I can hear everything that I'm saying kicking back through one of your.
Oh, it's not me.
No, me.
Okay. Making sure.
I'll ask.
Can you still hear it?
I don't know. Not now.
I can't hear it anymore, so I have to be something with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, orchestral.
It's gone, she said.
Okay.
Orchestral soundtrack.
Yeah.
A lot of them are going to be very, very iconic movies.
Mm-hmm.
That have the same composer. And we all know who's.
Yeah, we're looking right at, John Williams, Hans Zimmer, Danny Elfman.
Yeah. I mean, just some of those soundtracks in those movies just nailed it.
Slap. Let's be frank.
Hard. Jurassic Park, Back to the Future,
Jaws, Harold Potamus, Star Wars.
Harold Potamus.
Geraldo
really
Potomac.
you really got epicness in music, like Lord of the Rings. That enhances,
Yeah.
in my opinion, that movie having the orchestral noise. Just that orchestral
Geraldo Potomac's funny.
We're so off the deep end.
I know it.
I'm sorry, I'm tired. Sorry, I was stuck on Geraldo Potomac.
Every time you say that, I just think of this meme of this kid, and it's like, did you know that Pornhub was named after its founder, Cornelius Hubert?
Oh my god.
Well, we're drain this as much as
Oh man. Can you name this episode after Cornelius?
Cornelius Hubert.
Cornelius Hubert. Wait, yeah, Cornelius Hubert and Harold Potomac star in Artisan
Go to White
Exchange.
Castle.
Oh God, my face hurts and I can't breathe out of my nose. Oh Christ, that was good. Yep. Okay, sorry.
Viper carry.
Orchestral.
One that I brought up in the green room that neither one of these two have seen, but they have heard of it, is the Road to Perdition.
Right, you had mentioned that one.
And that was really good. Like, the movie is a very dramatic movie with Tom Hanks in it, and the music, I heard the music before I actually watched the movie, and the music is very gut-wrenching, and it's...
Ooh, Tom Hanks has got a tiny pencil something mustache.
Pencil thin mustache?
That was the joke I was trying to get through, but I paused it.
Almost at a pencil thin.
Tiny pin, son. No.
All right, take it on, guys.
Yeah, this is going badly tonight.
Sorry, boys. I was thinking about Tom Hanks' pencil thin mustache. Okay. Road to Perdition. That looks cool. I'll check it out. All right.
I don't think that's where the thought ended. Carry on, Viper.
Oh, Mylanta. You got another orchestral one that I can giggle at? If you don't.
Avatar is another one.
I gotta watch Avatar again. It was kind of like how Pirates of the Caribbean turned into for me, because there was just so much lore dump that I just... obviously the main theme, but the second, third, and fourth movies I never watched because it just... I take that back. I think I tried watching the second and third one, but plot-wise, it just couldn't...
It got deep really quick.
It couldn't keep... It's like the Kingdom Hearts syndrome of... Yeah. This is really cool, but oh my God, let's just open Pandora's box of all the lore and lore dump all over the eye. True. So who messed up Kingdom Hearts 2? Square or Disney or both?
Square. Both.
Nomura.
Oh, Lord. Well, if you guys... Yeah, do it.
Another one that literally took over most of the 90s. And I want to see if you guys can actually get it.
We talking orchestral?
A little bit of both.
Uh-huh.
So an orchestral score that took over the 90s.
No, not Disney.
Okay.
Was it a specific movie or what?
Just orchestral. It has other songs mixed in.
Okay.
One more song.
Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Oh my God. Can you rephrase the question again?
Okay. Took over the 90s. It was very powerful. It has a lot of orchestral, but one main pop song popped out. pop song popped out.
But it's not Disney.
It's not Disney. No.
Is it something Disney-esque, like DreamWorks? No. Is it a cartoon? Anime movie?
No.
That Thing You Do?
No.
Love Shack.
What was the most popular movie in the night?
Oh, Titanic.
Oh, yeah. My Heart Will Go On.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's the only thing I know from that. I don't know any of the orchestral music from that movie.
It's actually really good.
I only watched it. Well, I don't think I watched it since it came out in the 90s. Mom and Dad had that disc VHS tape.
The 2 VHS tape.
Yeah, that's the first time I saw boobies on a movie. So.
I've never seen a 2 VHS movie before. I've never seen one since.
Lord of the Rings.
I forgot that was on VHS.
The Fellowship of the Ring one.
Also, viewers, if you don't know what a VHS was,
also, viewers, if you don't know what boobies are,
turn this podcast off.
Shut up.
Go outside.
Touch grass.
If you don't know what a VHS is, go to bed. You shouldn't be up this late.
Make sure to lock the door before you go to bed.
Well, every time that we bring up movies, and I know, man.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
God. If you say Rocky 4 a minute, I'm hitting end stream right now.
Yeah, look at that, boys.
Well, thanks for coming in. Rocky 3 and Rocky 4.
Now, I'm assuming it's all orchestral build-up stuff, and it's not necessarily like songs that kind of help.
80s pop music.
Okay. So does it borrow Eye of the Tiger again, or what?
Survivor.
I mean, it does, but
okay.
There's what's the name?
On spot.
Yeah, I'm not doing on the spot tonight, but
you had
No
Survivor.
Easy Way Out.
Yeah, No Easy Way Out, Rupert Tepper, and you had Burning Heart, Survivor.
Burning Heart, yeah.
And
you have a couple more Survivor songs that was in there. But
Survivor was definitely tapped for that franchise.
Actually, two things, full circle. There are Rocky references in Project Hail Mary.
Oh, good.
And I didn't
there's
catch one
Rocky
of them.
Road in my fridge.
Ah.
And it should have been in my freezer, so it's probably gone bad.
Which is adjacent to Country Roads by John Denver. True.
And which is
ice cream in the fridge is just a poor man's chocolate milk.
And the song is actually called Take Me Home.
But I am home. No, not that one. Wait, I got to backtrack because I had a thought. Oh, yeah. Soundtracks that are not necessarily musicals. As you guys kept talking throughout the whole business, I was trying to think of one soundtrack from my childhood that I couldn't stop listening to as a kid, and I finally remembered it. But Tobey Maguire's first Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
I had that
God.
one in my CD player constantly.
That CD slaps so hard.
Nickelback's Hero.
I loved that song.
I loved it.
Nickelback, Sum 41.
What Sum 41 song was on that?
What We're All About.
Yep.
God, I can't. That was their first album, even before their first album. That was their half hour of power.
I love me some Sum 41.
And then
Dave's Possessed Hair.
Sour. That was
Alien Ant Farm was on there. Default was on there.
Oh my God.
Macy Gray was freaking on there.
Yeah. It had a lot of good ones.
Hell, Aerosmith made a cover of the Spider-Man theme, which was awful, but it was so bad it was good. And I remember burning it on my Xbox to play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 X on. Because you could unlock Spider-Man in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. All right, let's check out this Who's Who. Technically, it's not Nickelback. It's Chad Kroeger with the dude from...
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Well, that's what it's listed at as a track listing. Chad Kroeger featured Josie Scott. What's he from? I can't remember. Saliva. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Sum 41. Black Lab. Bleh. Alien Ant Farm. Default. Corey Taylor. I don't know who that is.
Slipknot. Stone
Corey
Sour.
Taylor is...
Oh, I knew that. Green Wheel.
You literally just mentioned Stone Sour.
Yeah, I know you did. I know. The Hives, Theory of a Dead Man. Duh, I knew that one.
God, I didn't realize they were around back then.
Yeah. Macy
Wow.
Gray, Infected, Jerry Cantrell, Alice in Chains. Oh,
I still can't believe What We're All About's in that. That's weird.
Danny
to me.
Elfman.
Danny Elfman did all the work.
He did the score, didn't he?
Danny Elfman did the score.
He did for all the first 3 movies.
Yep. And Danny Elfman does not match what Danny Elfman's name looks like.
No, Danny Elfman is actually in a band too.
Danny Elfman looks like Buff Carrot Top. Danny Elfman looks like he ate Carrot Top.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're out of ad breaks, so we probably need to start wrapping it up.
Sorry, I wanted to throw that one in there whenever
you're good.
No, that's a good one. I completely forgot about that one.
Mm-hmm. So we'll main event matchup next week.
Movie soundtrack.
Yep.
All right. And I
musicals
think
can be involved or not.
And yes, and our topic next week, main topic will be video game soundtracks.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
All right, so we are going to get out of here. Let's
got anybody ready out soon?
Yeah, let's go to Kev.
Okay. My head hurts.
Friend of the podcast. Well, good. All right. Anything to plug?
My phone up because it's low on battery.
Way ahead of you.
Hot cha. Almost 93%. I like.
For me, no 46. Stream tomorrow night because it's date night with me and my wife.
Excellent.
My wife.
We're gonna go see Project Hail Mary. And
it's sweet. Oh, excuse me.
Then Jesus. I will be back on Sunday.
Thank you.
All right. I'll be here working on some Tic Tacs tomorrow. All right, then. Well, if we don't see you all before then, we will see you next Friday for our next episode. Hopefully on time next week. I don't know. My kids hate me, apparently. Just joking. They love me. But anyway, we're going to raid out to Kev, and we will see you guys in the next episode. So soon, very soon.
Swig of peanut butter for the working man.
All right. I'll see you guys in the green room. We are heading out. See you guys.
All righty.